This is the Dodgers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet is a winner. Well, that was a pissa against the Giants to start the 10-game homestand for the boys in blue. 5-6-2 the final. Teoscar Hernandez, the only Dodger player that was able to do anything at the plate tonight offensively. Got a base hit and a home run, and that would be it. I don't think any of us who pay any attention to what's going on with the Giants, and granted, I know most of us don't spend a lot of time worrying about the Giants, but I think as Dodger fans, we are aware that Logan Webb is good, and this was going to be a tough night. But with Yamamoto starting, I think we felt like it was going to be, a pitcher's duel, and we'd have to scrape across a run or two to make it interesting. We also are aware that Yamamoto does not get a ton of run support, so that was an unfortunate situation for him to be in against such a tough starter in Logan Webb. But he was definitely rolling. Three things that initially grabbed me about this game: that Yamamoto cannot walk the bases loaded. Back-to-back bad outings. I don't know what's going on with him, but he is definitely a little wild. And walking the bases loaded and then giving up a grand slam home run on, I appreciated the pitch. It just wasn't a good pitch. The splitter is his hammer. That's his money pitch. And it just went right over middle of the plate, the heart of the plate. And Schmidt yanked it over the left field fence into the pavilion. An absolute bomb and no doubter. But that was just a bad inning for him. 43 pitches in all. Bad sequence, bad outing, bad inning, everything that possibly could go wrong did. I feel like his stuff just wasn't there tonight. You don't see very many 43 pitch innings from him. It's now back-to-back bad outings from him. And let's address the elephant in the room. The umpire was absolutely brutal tonight. And it wasn't just against the Dodgers. It was also against the Giants. But there was no fewer than, I stopped counting after he blew 5 or 6 crucial strike calls that affected the Dodgers. And in a little bit, I'm going to get into a bigger part of why that is a problem. It's not just bitching and complaining and moaning and looking for an excuse. It goes to why this game turned out the way that it did, or a large part of it. Again, it happened for the Giants too, and Logan Webb was just better tonight than Yamamoto. And Freddie Freeman is struggling. Month of June has not been kind to Freddie Freeman. We'll get into the details of that here in just a little bit.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, coming off a fairly decent win against the Padres, 5-2. The offense once again did not show up. And I guess you could look back at that last game and say, yeah, they weren't there either, but we got lucky. Padres weren't great. The pitching for them in that game was just okay. Teoscar Hernandez found a pitch he liked, busted out of a slump, hit a home run, gave the Dodgers the lead and the win. The bullpen came in that one and took care of business and secured the win for the Dodgers. But you can look back at that game and go, yeah, the offense wasn't really there then either. They got thumped on the middle game of that series. And the opener, again, that was an 8-7 win for the Dodgers at 10, so they had some offense there. But my point is that there's been a relative lack of consistency from them. Good game, bad game, good game, bad game. They're just all over the place. They can't find any offensive rhythm. And tonight, You look at the top 4 or 5 in the lineup. Shohei Ofer, Mookie Ofer, Freddie Ofer, Will Smith Ofer. Again, they only had 2 hits. Teo was the only one in the lineup to get a hit, had a home run. So hopefully he's finding his way, but Freddie is definitely in a funk. When you look at Freddie's numbers for the month of June, he's batting .238 in June, 10 for 42, no home runs, 6 for his last 26 over the last 7 days. That's an average of .231. So, and tonight it looked probably the worst I've seen from him in a while, even through this bad stretch. Now, he only struck out once, and I quite possibly paid a little bit more attention to that at bat, but it was bad. The swing was very vertical and late, like swinging when the ball was by him. I mean, it was like that Louisiana fastball by you. So I I'm not terribly worried, but it's not nice to see. It's also unfortunate that it seems like these top 4 guys in the lineup, they're either all having a good day or they're all having a bad day. And as go those 4, or the majority anyway, goes the team. It's tough for the Dodgers to win when the top 3 or 4 in the lineup are having an off night and Yamamoto is struggling. So after that grand slam, I just kind of felt like they're done. And we know that the Dodgers are the top team in the league with comeback wins, 21 of them. But doesn't it feel to you like at times when they fall behind against a good pitcher, they just pack up their tent? That's it. And we'll move on to the next one. Turn the page, if you will. Let's see what Chris has to say here. I'm sick and tired of the Dodger hitters sitting on their asses. It's ridiculous. They are losing this much. How terrible. They act like it's nothing, but really they're not good. They're right now over this last little stretch. Yeah, they're not playing well. Let's look at the standings real quick and see where this loss puts them. I know the Giants were, this might put everyone in a 3-way tie at the top of the National League West. Now the Giants and the Dodgers are now tied 41 and 29 apiece. Padres 2 back. So still in first place, but yeah, there's not a lot to get excited about as far as the Dodgers with momentum and stringing together wins and playing good baseball. Especially when Yamamoto is not pitching well. So it's putting pressure on the starting pitcher to a very high level, and that is tough. And, the 15 pitchers on the IL is also tough, and they have weathered the storm thus far through that situation rather, successfully, rather well. But, I don't think any of us would be surprised if we, looked up at that in a few days or a week and saw them in second or third place. It's been remarkable that they've been able to do what they have done up until now with that many injuries, right? Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Roki Sasaki, Gonsolin now gone for a little bit. I mean, it just feels like at some point in time, that fact is got to come around and affect them. And then when you have a situation like tonight, your starting pitcher struggling, you got no offense, the other pitcher is locked in, and the umpire is just killing you, missing strike after strike after strike. And again, here's why that is a problem. When the home plate umpire misses that many calls on pitches that are strikes, it has to get into the head of Yamamoto and affect his psyche when he's trying to get people out. He's like, that's a strike, ball. That's a strike, ball. That's a strike. No, that's a ball too. It's like, okay, what do I have to do? You're killing me. And he's just taking away his desire. I feel like when that happens, it's tough for pitchers because they have to, in their head as competitors, try to throw strikes. And they're like, well, if that's not a strike, then I got to throw it somewhere else. And usually that other place is more towards the center of the plate, more over the heart, a more hittable pitch for the batter. So that's why it's ultimately, an issue. And that's why it sucks the life out of a pitcher. Because they just try to over pitch and try to compensate for his mistakes rather than staying the course, right? We just got to stay the course and keep throwing strikes, what we know are strikes, even though he doesn't. And ultimately, it just gets to him, right? And that's what happened tonight. It was a big part of it, right? He was like, damn, what do I got to do? So I'm going to start throwing him more over the plate. And guess what happens then? See you later. So tough night all around for the Dodgers. It's funny. Matty Man says the Giants have a plan at the plate. The Giants are not a very good hitting team. And, tonight they weren't great. They were good. But they had a lot of hard hit balls. I know a lot of you guys think that's a ridiculous stat, but tonight the Dodgers had like 2 hard hit balls and the Giants had, I think, 9 or 10. So if not more. I mean, I wrote that down early in the game, like the 5th or 6th inning. So I'm sure they had some more hard hit balls after that. But the Dodgers just didn't put bat to ball tonight at all. And that's a problem. I look at the Giants and I go, yeah, their offense is good. It's more about pitching for them. They did have 10 hits tonight. So yeah, they definitely had a better plan, Matt, for sure. But I as a whole, they're not a much better hitting team than the Dodgers. The Dodgers are just going through it right now. So it's a tough place to be for them, both offensively and defensively. Eric says they were feeble. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Matt Mix Felix. We got Kirsch coming up. Wow, that's what everyone's worried about. All right, it's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. They fall to the Giants in the opener of this series, the start of a 10-game homestand, 6-2 the final. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince on the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, Monday through Friday. They come in and break it down for you, get into the weeds of what's going on in the Dodger universe, and give you the latest update on where things are with all of the injuries and so forth. So make sure you check out Jeff and Vince, the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast, right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Trade Coffee. Let's be real. Coffee isn't just a drink. It is a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning and running in the morning. It's very essential for me. And I know if you're like me, the quality of coffee is very important. So why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. Trade Coffee is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, they've got a roast for you. So make sure you check them out and get the coffee you like, because a lot of times I think, people settle on drinking half decent coffee. And sometimes, you get tired of that bad coffee, like at the office, that U-Band stuff, which you'll do in a pinch, but at home when you're on your weekend and you're relaxing or whatever, getting ready to get in the car and head off to work, you want to have a nice quality cup of coffee. And you got to find out, it's like wine. You got to find out what you like. So you're drinking something that satisfies you. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering 50% off 1 month trial. So go to drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's TRADE.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1 month trial. Drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. Tonight's episode also brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is celebrating the NBA playoffs, which are almost over. The Oklahoma City Thunder tied that series tonight at 2 games apiece, delivering highlight-worthy performances night after night, but not for much longer. The momentum shifts on the NBA hardwood and on the ice will come to an end very, very soon. So whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. I'm assuming that there was probably U.S. Open action on there as well. I would have bet on Scotty Scheffler big time. He's 4 over at this point, and he's not dead yet, but definitely not atop the leaderboard by any stretch of the imagination. New to FanDuel? Well, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Dodgers fall to the Giants, a lackluster offensive performance, 6-2 the final. Robleski came in and did okay. Like to see that. He wasn't bad. Gave up the home run, but got out of a jam in the 7th. And then Teo hit his solo shot in the 7th inning there to make it a 3-run ball game. It was 5-2 at that point, his 12th shot of the year. The 2-seamer that kind of backed up right into the barrel of his bat, and he launched it to right field. So it seems like he's busting out of his little slump there that went on for quite a while. He was 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position prior to that home run a couple of nights ago, and then another one tonight. But everyone else tonight, ice cold. Edman 0 for 3. Conforto hit the ball hard, had really tough luck tonight, or one great play by the second baseman for the Giants that robbed him, Fitzgerald. They said the batting average on that ball, I have no idea how they figured this stuff out, but they said the batting average on that batted ball should have been like 930, meaning the probability of it being a base hit was very high, but Fitzgerald robbed him. Muncy, who has a total of 25 home runs against the Giants, 0 for, didn't strike out at all. But, from the standpoint of Ks across the board, Shohei was the worst. He had 2 Ks on the night and didn't look good at all up there. He's definitely going through it as well. His OPS still over 1,000, but just barely. Batting average at 286. Mookie struggling. He walked twice though, so that was good to see. But really, no threat for the Dodgers to rally in this game, and that's probably what's got me most frustrated and worried at this point. The Dodgers are, as I said, the best team in baseball coming from behind to win. They have 21 of them, but it seems like at times they just go, all right, that's it. Turn the page, pack up the tent. Let's go. We'll worry about it tomorrow. We're not going to fight anymore tonight. But the good news is tomorrow they will. They'll live to fight another day, and that'll be tomorrow. They'll show up, and it'll be a different ball game, a different attitude. They'll come ready to play, and let's hope that they can have a better performance at the plate and a better performance on the mound from Clayton Kershaw. So he was good his last time out. So that's a positive. Landon Roop will start for the Giants. First pitch, 7:10. We'll be here right afterwards to break it down for you on the Locked On Dodgers Podcast Network. Make sure you Dodgers Podcast YouTube channel, rather, where you find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily Dodgers Podcast Monday through Friday. I come on right after the game and give you instant reaction, 15 to 20. Those guys do it Monday through Friday after the game as well. 30 to 35 minutes of in-depth information about what is going on in the Dodger universe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, wherever you find your podcasts. And most importantly, thanks for you guys that watch live and comment. That makes it all much more interesting and exciting for me and for everyone else. The interaction is fantastic, and I really appreciate it. So have a good night. We will talk again tomorrow. Again, first pitch, 7:10, Kershaw versus Roop. We'll be here to break it down on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel when the game is over. Take care. Have a good